All right, Keith, I think we're live. I think that we are live here. Welcome, everybody, to the webinar. My name is George Wisniewski. He calls me GW. The name of the company is Expert Credit Systems. Today, I have Keith Knapp with me of Credit Repair Junkies. Keith, what is your title at Expert Credit Systems again? We keep changing it so much, I keep forgetting what it is.
I'm the Director of Business Development.
Director of Business Development. That's awesome. We love developing business. And that's a little bit what we're going to talk about today, right? So I named the webinar, and it's going to be an ongoing series, I think. Sales presentation, from presentation to pitch. And basically, I get a lot of questions every day from people in Credit Repair Junkies, Dispute Master Course, from our client base, from prospects, people trying to get into the credit repair industry, people trying to scale their credit repair businesses. What can I do to increase my conversion ratio? What can I do to increase the amount of sales that I'm making, right? So the first thing I tell them is that consistency is important, and you want to have the same message every single time, and you want to be persistent. You want to be persistent to the point that you're almost being insistent, but not quite that much. Does that make any sense, Keith, or am I starting to ramble already? I know we're minute one of the webinar, but I tend to go off on that tangent sometimes right away. And that's why Keith is here, guys. He's going to try to keep me on that path to give you a little bit of information. One of the first things I'd like to discuss is what a lot of people call the elevator pitch. Everybody know what that is? If you do, and feel free to ask questions or ask me about a topic that you want to talk about regarding sales. But I like the elevator pitch. Keith, are you familiar with that? What I mean by the elevator pitch?
Yeah. When you jump in an elevator, being able to pitch your product before you hit the floor.
Absolutely. So it's basically you have 30 seconds to tell that person that you're going up or down in the elevator with exactly what you do, how you do it, why you do it, and why they need what you have to offer. So it's 30 seconds, right? If anybody's ever been to a BNI group or Toastmasters or anything like that, they teach you that 30-second commercial. That's basically your elevator pitch. And there's a couple of real good ways to get started doing it. Most of everybody on this call is a credit repair company, right? So you're in credit repair, you're in the mortgage industry, the real estate industry, combination of all three, maybe a car sale, something like that. If you're meeting somebody, let's say it's a potential affiliate, they need to know what your product is, what a good lead for you is that day, and how they can get that to you quickly and easily, right? So if you pick those things out, so hi, my name is George. I work for Expert Credit Systems. Today, a good lead for me is somebody who's looking to get into the credit repair industry or is already in the credit repair industry that's looking to scale their business. We offer software, we offer outsourcing, we offer consulting. We can get you started for a small fee, blah, 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 blah. In the credit repair business, my name is George. I work for George's Credit Repair. What we do is we change one life at a time. We take those people you're turning down and put them back into your pipeline. Does that make any sense? So for a mortgage broker, and I know I stress the mortgage broker often, and I think that's the absolute best lead for a credit repair company. If you're in the B2B space, you want mortgage brokers, and you want as many of them as you can get. Keith, I can ask you this question. Do mortgage brokers care about the process of credit repair at all?
Not really. No. I mean, they want to know. Can you get them repaired? Can you get them back to them? And will you treat them right? Those are really the three objections you get from a mortgage broker.
Absolutely. So if I went into a mortgage broker and I asked them a couple questions, and I've done this webinar for about an hour, I'm going to squish it into 3 minutes now. So Keith, you're a mortgage broker. You own a net branch of Keith's mortgages, right? If I walk in and I ask you a couple questions, and hey, bud, how many deals did you close last month?
About 35.
35 deals. That's awesome. How many credit reports did it take you to pull? How many credit reports did you pull last month to close 35 deals?
80.
80. So Keith is being difficult. Those are really not the numbers. Let's bring you back to earth a little bit. And average loan officers are going to close 5 deals a month, something like that. And they're probably going to.
That was a good loan officer.
You must have been a great loan officer. It was exactly when the rate started to plummet, when the Fed rate was at 1%. Anyway, if your office is closing 5 loans a month, you're probably pulling 100 credit reports, right? You've got 5 that closed. You've probably got 15 or 20 left in your pipeline. So my next question is, how many credit reports, how many people did you turn down last month for credit criteria? Josh, Dasty?
Everybody loves.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So 80, between 60 and 80. Okay. Let's call it 60. If I could take 10% of those people, just 6 people, and put them back into your pipeline, and you're making an average of $5,000 a deal. If I could put $30,000 a month or $360,000 a year back into your company, is that of value to you?
Absolutely.
Would you be willing to listen to more of what I have to say?
I'm intrigued.
Great. So 10% is a very, very skinny conversion ratio. Heath, at Credit Guys, what was your closing ratio for referral partners, specifically in the mortgage industry?
65%.
Okay. Huge. Huge.
Yeah.
Now, if you went into that mortgage lender and you told them that you can convert 65% of their turndowns, what would they tell you?
They told me that they usually told me that I was full of it until they saw it.
So if you told them you can convert 10%,
they believe that.
and they're willing to give you a chance, right?
Yeah.
At any time in that conversation that we just had, our little mock conversation, did we ever talk about a letter that we're writing?
Nope.
Did we ever talk about anything?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just about how you can benefit me.
Right. Now, to provide that consistency that we were talking about, mortgage lenders, mortgage brokers, and I think that some of them on this call, they probably think that they know a hell of a lot more about credit than credit repair companies. Would you agree with that as well?
Absolutely.
And the fact is they don't.
Right.
Unfortunately, they do not. And they're thinking that, and they think that basically you're trying to take their scraps, their turndowns, and turn them into something to benefit you. Well, it's going to benefit both of you. It's going to benefit them. They're going to make the lion's share of the money, right?
Right.
How do we get those people to consistently send us those leads? Well, staying in front of them is really important. And let's talk about going back to consistency. If you are the type of credit repair company that has local affiliates, show up, be in their office. Don't just expect to bring on the affiliate and organically they're going to send you business. I've seen this mistake happen hundreds and hundreds of times over the last 8.5, 9 years I've been in the credit repair industry. Well, I've got 50 affiliates, but nobody sends me any business. You go and ask for the deal, you have to.
And they're not.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
They're not even affiliates at that point. If they're not sending you business, they're not an affiliate.
Correct.
They're a lead.
They're a lead. And once you show up in their office, I was a big believer in bribing people, and not with money or anything, but with food. I don't know if you could tell, but I like to eat. And so does everybody in an office environment. You bring in bagels or donuts and coffee, they're going to be very happy. Make your weekly visit. Make it so they understand that you're going to be a presence in their office. And every week when you show up with your bag of donuts or your bagels or your coffee, once they have a chance to get something to eat and you've talked about the kids and who won the Super Bowl and stuff like that, ask them for deals. Ask them, hey, can we look at the turndowns that you guys had for the last week? See if there's any people that we can talk to. And to improve that consistency, provide them a short, very small script that they can do unconsciously. So, for example, a script that I've written a couple of years ago that a lot of our clients are using are, hey, Keith, I can qualify you for this mortgage as soon as we get you to the 620, 640 mark. To do that, we've got to get you started repairing your credit with Keith's Credit Repair. Credit Guys. I send all my clients there because they do a great job and they can get you back to me quickly to start the mortgage process again. Most of my clients graduate their program in about blank months, about 6 months, some sooner, right? The cost of their product, cost of their service is $300 to get started and $100 a month thereafter. To make it simple and easy for you, I'm going to have Keith call you from Credit Guys to get you started today. That be all right? Great. What's the best contact number? If they repeat that over and over and over again, they're already being programmed by the affiliate partner, right? It's kind of like a predecessor to what you do. They've already been set. So if anybody uses a call center environment out there, you have openers, you have setters, you have closers. Well, in this case, they're the setter or the opener and you're the closer. And what you're doing when you call that person is you're just reverse engineering that script. Hey, George, this is Keith from Credit Guys. I talked to Bob about you, and he said that you were unfortunately recently turned down for your loan application, and you need to get over to us to start the process of credit repair quickly. Is that correct? Yes. Did he tell you that most of his clients are graduating my program in about 6 months, and the cost of my program to get started is $300, and it's $100 a month thereafter? Yes. Great. Have you seen a copy of your credit report? Is that something we can take a peek at now? And what you're doing is you're just re-verifying everything the affiliate told them, and they're getting that warm and fuzzy right away. Right? That's where, and I'm sure, Keith, you had a similar process to that, Credit Guys, right?
Yeah, and the thing that we did is I always I was a big fan of Tim Duncan's high trust selling, and so everything that we did was based around rapport. So what we would do is we would actually start by proving that we were the industry leaders. By when we walked into Mortgage Partners, we never went empty-handed. We always had something that was a tool that brought value to them, removing accounts in dispute, how to boost the score 10 points in 10 days. I mean, just flyers, information that you know, I was never a fan of taking bagels in because it cost too much money. You know, so I was a cheapskate. I had publishers, so I started making flyers and said, hey, you know, here's some tools to help you grow your business. When they said, after a couple months, the way they referred us was completely different. Hey, these guys are really good. I trust them. You know, they started putting in words that really helped with our closing ratio. And that was our goal is we would go in and ask for business, but we would ask for business after we gave them something to improve their business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then,
and that reciprocity is a natural thing, right? That's not something you have to teach somebody. That's something they know. I'm giving you something. You want to give me something in return. Hey, these guys are they're telling me that, hey, you know, when I was in the mortgage business, Keith, I lied to people every day because I didn't know better. I was telling people, yeah, keep your utilization ratio at like 50%. You'll be cool. You're not going to get much better. Well, through meeting John Olsheimer in the credit repair industry and listening to what he's had to say, and if you guys don't listen to him, you should. If you don't know who John Olsheimer is, Google him. If you're in the Credit Repair Junkies group, jump in there and look at some of his posts. John knows FICO. Okay, he doesn't know credit repair, he knows FICO. And he told me many years ago, in fact, it was October 2010 at the Dallas Boot Camp event, that the prime utilization ratio is seen by FICO as 1%. That in and of itself is a great tip for a mortgage broker, right? Hey, did you know if they pay their bills down to 1%, that 30% of their score is going to increase? You may get the points you need there, right? You can't close stuff that's in dispute. And that, Keith, we see that all the time in our processing department, right? As a matter of fact, I think we just made a policy change that the last round of our letters, we're removing, or as a last round, we're removing the in dispute moniker that's on the credit report in that XP narrative. Is that correct?
absolutely, that's part of a credit repair company's job, is to put it in dispute and take it out of dispute. It's just part of the package.
All right. So loan officers can't close a deal. Actually, that's changing. I've heard from a reliable source that they're getting past the in dispute on an FHA loan. That's underwriter discretion now, but I haven't seen anything in writing about it. If anybody out there has anything in writing, I'd love to see it, right? But that needs to happen. You need to inform them of the changes in their industry and how it affects your relationship. So Keith brings up a great point. I'm going to bring you a bagel. I'm going to make you happy right there. I'm going to put you in a sugar coma. We're both going to build rapport, but is Keith going to help you grow your business faster? Maybe. Another great tip, another great thing to do as a credit repair company is find that mortgage lender, find a realtor, and do a first-time home buyer seminar. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to have 1 million people there. You don't have to compete with these large companies that are doing 300 and 400 people at a time. Get 10, 15 people in a room, and as the credit guy, go up there first. Tell them, before you go buy that house for Bob, before you get a loan from Keith, you need to know where you're standing with your credit. And you need to have the tools available there to be able to do that consultation. And I've got a pretty strong opinion on consultations are free, audits we charge for. And consultation is what, 5-10 minutes? You're asking those qualifying questions and you're finding out if that person is actually a client. If they are, and they want to move forward, do the audit. Keith, do you agree with that or no? Did you spend more time in the consultation than you did in the audit?
We spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time on the consultation during and auditing for our partners. when we branched out and started doing when we started doing online leads, when we started doing buying leads, stuff like that, it completely changed the dynamic of what we were doing. When it was a partner relationship, they would send people over and we would take care of them, so that even if they didn't sign up, the clients would call the partner back and go, yeah, these guys really took care of me. I couldn't afford it right now, but yeah, thanks for sending me there. They gave me some great tips, even though I didn't go with them.
Well, you see, in a volume environment, and kind of like to hit right down the middle of what you're talking about, what you did at Credit Guys, I think that to develop a system and a process around this is very important. And I've even developed a consultation checklist, and it's ugly. It's a one-page thing. If anybody out there wants it, let me know. I'll send it to you. And it's asking those qualifying questions. Have you seen your credit report? No. Okay, let's get a copy of it. You can get a copy from any one of these monitoring sites: Credit Check Total, ScoreSense, Privacy Guard, IDIQ, AnnualCreditReport.com. I would stay away from Credit Karma. I'm just not liking Credit Karma all that much. If you ask me what my favorite credit report, consumer credit report is, I'm going to tell you Credit Check Total all day long. Okay, I just like it. And allegedly, they have a consumer version of an actual FICO score now. From what I've seen, it's pretty close to an actual FICO. Keith, you have any information on that as well, or?
I haven't done enough research on it yet to actually compare it side by side, but everything I'm reading says it's pretty close. They've got it pretty tight.
Mm-hmm. So if you get a credit report that you like to read, right? So pick one, pick two, pick three, stick with them, understand it, be able to have the client log in. There's a lot of talk out there on the groups on Facebook and on the forums on, should you pay for the client's monitoring? Should you sign up for the monitoring for them? I say absolutely not. And here's the reason why I say absolutely not. They need to put it on their debit or credit card. They need to run their own A3 authentication. That's the question, what color is your dog? Where have you had a car loan in the last 3 years? Whatever those questions are, right? And the bill needs to go on their credit card. A lot of these companies are doing IP flagging. I don't know if I'm saying that right as a tech term, but they're locking out your IP address if you're using the same credit card over and over again, and if you're accessing from the same IP address over and over again. If you're going to see the client face-to-face, have them sign up for Credit Check Total on their phone. Okay? Have them give you the login and the password, share it with you, look at it together. My idea of a consultation is ask the qualifying questions. What is your goal? What is your time frame? I'm looking to see if anything is jumping out at me. In my virtual credit repair company in my head, I don't want to take on anybody with a fresh derogatory in the last 30 to 60 days. I want to make sure there's a benefit to them. I want to make sure that I can help them. So if there's nothing there and just to build credit, maybe have a credit builder program. But if there's enough there for me to work on and they have a good goal and a good time frame, then in my estimation, it's a client. And I'm going to put them through a little transitional script. Keith, based on the information you shared me today, the information on your credit report, and clients we've helped in a similar situation to you in the past, I think you're a great fit for this program. Moving forward is easy. We can do the audit right now. It's $300 to get you started. We're going to collect the fee from you once the audit is complete. Some people go so far as to say, okay, Florida is a 3-day rescission state, so we're not going to do anything until those 3 days. You can cancel within those 3 days. That's going to be on your contract, gang. You're going to have 2 full-page rights of rescission and an indication of rescission wherever the client's going to sign that agreement. So it could be in 3 places. Some contracts I've seen have it on the footer of every page. Okay, is that something that you want to blast out to them? I would mention it. I wouldn't say, don't forget, you can rescind in the next 3 days. What's going to happen if they sign up on Friday and it's, Super Bowl weekend? Well, I could really use that $300. I gave it to Keith, but I could do it next week. Let me fill in the rescission form and send it in. I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. The same thing with mortgage lenders on a refi. People can rescind in 3 days. And I think it's any standard contract, right? Some states are 5-day states. Keith, question for you. Maybe this will get a little technical for a sales webinar, but did you do any work during the rescission period for them? Or did you wait till it was over?
We would go ahead and enter it and have all their letters ready to send by the time their rescission was up. And then that way they would look in their portals and they'd be able to see, oh, they're doing stuff. And so they'd feel bad if they wanted to rescind.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Can you save a rescission? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have them resign.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon for it to happen. So on how many rescissions would you say you've had the entire time Credit Guys was open?
Maybe 6.
You were open for years.
Yeah, and we were doing 100, 150 contracts a month, so that's pretty good numbers.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
So you set the right expectation and you followed through. You were consistent. There's a sales graph out there, and I was looking for a good copy of it, and I'm going to find it after the webinar, and I'm going to attach it to this video, and I'll send it to you for Credit Repair Junkies. But the statistics are that a one-call close happens like 2% of the time, right? And there's somewhere between 7 and 12 touches, and I think that's for a cold prospect. And the first touch from a referral partner is from the referral partner. The second touch is from you. And I'm sure that pretty often, that 65%, you were signing people up first time you spoke with them, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And part of it is we set up our process so that our affiliate partners would email the contact information to us and copy us on them, copy the client. We would respond and start giving them stuff. Hey, and what we did is we set it up as, we called it our 6 steps to credit success. And so we break it down according to, we'd say, hey, look, we have a proven process, a proven strategy that helps our clients. It's called our 6 steps to credit success. We want to sit down, do a consultation with you on it, see which of these steps you need so that we can help you get back into your home. When's a good time to talk?
Bam. Systems and process. So operations, or the ability to create that process or that system, is very important in your sales process. Whether you're talking about B2B, whether you're talking about B2C, whether you're putting out bandit signs on the street, whether you're doing a radio show, you've got to have tools. One of the tools that I like a lot, and one of the things that we're talking about with a lot of clients right now, is some kind of a drop sell. And if anybody, I'm sure most of you people know, sure most of the people on the webinar or going to be listening to this webinar in the future know what a drop sell is or a down sell is. Your standard product is $300 to get started, $100 a month. There are going to be people who are not going to buy because of the price, right? Their threshold is not met. You haven't lowered their threshold enough. You haven't lowered their buying threshold. In Jordan Belfort's straight line system, you've got to be a 10 with rapport. Your product has to be a 10. Your company has to be a 10 for you to really move forward with the sale. Okay. And that continuous looping strategy is where that persistency comes in. You may not be able to break through that. You may not find with a certain client you can break through that. They may not have $300. Well, 2 things. Either 1, you didn't qualify that properly before you put the client on the phone, right? Or 2, they just don't want to spend $300. They don't see the value in it. Have something to offer them, right? Is it a education course? Is it a membership site? Is it a do-it-yourself credit repair ebook? Or is it a do-it-yourself credit repair software? Right? I've worked with all of them in the past. Most recently, we're working with the do-it-yourself credit repair software. And I'm not trying to sell that to anybody, but it's $100. If you're Keith, you're a consumer, I'm a consumer, do you find that you're an easy sell, or do you find you're a tough sell?
I'm a really tough sell.
Okay. I'm an easy sell. I'm a really easy sell. If I want something, I'm going to figure out how to get it, right? You're not like that. So if I'm telling you that my credit repair service is $300 and you think you can do it yourself, if I have a tool for you to do it yourself, that's $100. You'd be like, well, if that doesn't work, I'm at $100. What
Right.
is the disposable amount there? Is it $59? Is it $100? Is it $200? Are people going to give you any feedback on what that price is? We have clients that are doing the do-it-yourself credit repair software that are using this for past clients as well as future clients as well as their present client base. Right? They're also using it to increase their footprint out there. We have clients that do radio shows. We have clients that do first-time homebuyer seminars. Not everybody in a first-time homebuyer seminar is going to sign up for your credit repair service, but you want to have something you can offer them, some type of free education, kind of like Keith's 6 steps to credit success. You got their information when you gave them that, right? You already had their info. You were building your list. You were going out there, you were expanding people's knowledge of credit, guys. And by doing that, you're going to get sales coming in later on down the road. You've got to be able to build that list, and you've got to be able to track it. One of the biggest problems that all salespeople have in every industry, I'll both hands up for this one, poor follow-up skills. Right? We want to kill something and bring it home right then and there. We're more grasshoppers than ants. I'm trying to be an ant. I want all of you guys to be ants as well. Take every sales opportunity and don't say it's a win or a win or a loss right now, but put them in a certain stage. Put them in a part of your funnel that you'll be able to get information to them later on. When Keith came on to Expert Credit Systems as Director of Business Development, he helped our sales funnels tremendously and reached out to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I've never been on Twitter before in my life. I still don't know what a Twitter or a tweet is. No clue. I've been on LinkedIn before. I'm a collector. I collect friends on Facebook. I collect friends on LinkedIn. I don't know anything about Twitter. I didn't know what hijacking a post was until the other day, right, Keith?
Right, exactly.
So hijacking a post, I was told, is when you keep writing repeatedly yourself after and after and after and after and after. And I kind of do that a little bit.
A little bit. You're in there.
Trying to stop. But, what's your message? Identify your target market. Once you've identified who your target market is, look at that group and don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Now, Keith, when you were doing business with your affiliate partners, your referral partners, were they all just mortgage people, or did you diversify that a little bit?
No, I diversified it tremendously. I had set insurance agents that I worked with. I like every one of my sales consultants had at least 3 insurance agents that they were networking with, that they were talking to. They had their list of mortgage people. But the thing that we did that was a little bit different. I had a list of 3,000, but we condensed that list way down, and we really focused on the 80-20. So, you focus 20% of your, or 80% of your business is going to come from 20% of your pipeline. So what we did is we were always watching it and watching the metrics on it, so we could sit down with our sales team at the beginning of the week and go, okay, here's your top producers. What are you doing with them to help them grow their business? And so instead of trying to be everything for everybody, we would take our top partners and we would help them grow their business. So like I had one mortgage guy that we would do just about everything for, but the guy would turn us on to other people. I mean, he was our biggest marketer out there because he loved us, because he went from doing 10 loans a month up to 25, and we were helping him market. We were throwing real estate agents at him while we were meeting them. I mean, it was a real relationship with him. And I think that's where a lot of companies go wrong, is they're like, I got to have all these people. When I started, I had 5 mortgage people that I worked with, and by myself, I was closing 30 transactions a month off 5 people, because I was out there, I was with them, I was paying attention to them, I was with them. And, I think that's the biggest thing, is get in there and make it a relationship, not just a system. The system's to keep you on track and keep you focused, but you've got to be connected, invested in their success just as much as you are their clients. And when you take that approach with them, their guard goes way down, and they realize you're not just a salesperson, but you're really there to be a partner. And I think that's what most mortgage people are looking for right now, is a partner in this industry.
Don't be Bob Sugar, be Jerry Maguire, right? Truly, show them the money. You know,
Yeah.
show them that you're invested in their business, and make an investment in your own business. Whether you're a salesperson for a credit repair company, whether you own that credit repair company, when you are acting in that sales role, you have to own that relationship. Okay, it can't be I'm calling on behalf of somebody else. You're calling on behalf of your company, and you know your company philosophy and your company goals need to be clear to them, right? Keith, I've worked with you at Dispute Suite 2008. I think we started working together.
Yep.
I'll never forget it. The conversation when you bought the customer portal at that time. You're like, I can't wait. I'm very excited. Got the customer portal. As a matter of fact, gang, Keith gave me two of the greatest testimonials I've ever received in my credit repair history, in my history of being a provider in the credit repair industry. One of them was a video, the short video that he made me. In fact, Keith, I'm going to find it and I'm going to post it on a product that we sold him at Dispute Suite, the credit repair business in a box. And the other one was a LinkedIn testimonial that Keith sent to me. And I'm going to paraphrase it, but basically it says, George, it's not just about business for George. He takes it personal, right? And when we say in the Dispute Master Course, welcome to the family, we mean that. We live that. Don't say it if you don't mean it, because people are going to pick that out right away, especially your partners, your referral partners, your providers. They're going to know right away, right? If you're going to live it, live it. I'm not saying to be in character or not be in character all the time, but if that's your philosophy, go out there and do it, right? Don't be afraid to ask for the sale. I talk to business owners every day that say, well, I'm not really the salesperson. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you do? Well, I sign people up. You're doing sales, right? You're just, what are you telling them? What are you saying to them to make them see that they should sign up with you? Well, I'm just telling them about my program. That's sales. You believe in it. They can see that you believe in it. You stand behind your word. There are other people that can verify that for you. One of the most powerful things you can do with a referral partner is fix their own credit. Fix that broker's credit. Do it for free. Is it really going to impact you that much? Do it for free. Knock it out of the park for them. What could be a better referral machine than that? Think about the conversation. I want to send you over to George at George's Credit Repair to fix your credit. Do you trust him? Fix my credit. Sold. I'm done. Good. You trust them? Great. You have experience with that? Now, does the referral partner feel better that they know what your process is, that they've seen it work, not just for their clients, but for themselves? Absolutely. That's just an investment in your business, right? There's a lot of people out there that do like a meet and greet for their referral partners and invite them out there, give them a little training, a little bit of education. That's great. Keith, did you ever do that, or you didn't want to spend the money on the Ritz crackers with the spray cheese?
Oh no, we didn't do any education or training. We called them our pep rallies, and we bought a lot of alcohol. And we got them together and we partied, and we had a great time. We'd bring in real estate agents from across the city and mortgage brokers, attorneys. And I mean, we'd have 150, 200 people at one, and we would just party and have a great time, laugh. And, you know, that's the one thing that I think most professionals forget. Until they know you personally, they won't really be invested in you. Once they get to know you personally, they start laughing with you, they start talking with you, get to know about your family, what's going on in your life. At that point, they realize you're a real person. You connect with them on a deeper level than just business. And that's what really makes strong partnerships. I actually, 3 of my partners that I started with in Credit Guys, I still talk to on a daily basis, and just we're really good friends now because I helped them grow their business. They saw my character, they saw what kind of person I was, and you know that speaks volumes for me of how I took care of my partners, because they knew who I was, and you know the business just followed who I was.
All right, let's talk about one last topic. I don't want to go, we're like 35, 40 minutes into it right now. And this is going to be an ongoing series. We're going to do this once a month, maybe twice a month. And love to have your feedback on what you want to see us talk about next or want to see me talk about next. If you want more of a structure on building a script or anything like that. But Keith, how important is social media in today's sales process?
You're asking me as the social media guy for Expert Credit Systems?
No, I'm not. No. So back up here. I'm not asking you in a sales role. I'm asking you your personal and your professional opinion, Expert Credit Systems aside.
Mm-hmm.
How, when you're doing business with somebody, when you're looking for a service, now there's 411 Payne, there's Angie's List, there's all that kind of stuff. In the credit repair industry, we've got what? We've got Naxo, right? And Naxo, all right, guys, so here's plug number one. If you're not a member of Naxo now, do it. Okay? Do it. Nick
Absolutely.
Owens is out there doing the good work in Washington. He's out there talking to the legislators, making sure that our industry is going to be there, making sure that people know there are good, reputable credit repair companies in this country. Naxo is also going to provide you a test. It's going to cost you a couple $100 to sign up, and what, $50 a month? It's well worth it. You're going to get the pretty little seal to put on your website as well. Okay. Naxo is a place where you can go to check out a credit repair company. Facebook. Most credit repair companies have a Facebook page. We do. We're a provider, but go to Expert Credit Systems on Facebook and like my page, please. Thank you very much. Leave a comment. George, I don't like the clocking in the background of your office, whatever it is. Now, let me go back to my question, because how important is that for you as a consumer, Keith? Do you check somebody's business out on Facebook?
Oh, I'm all over the place before I'll even think about doing business with them. I'm looking at every testimony. I'm weeding through the ones that I think are just baloney, and just looking at all the reviews, going through Google reviews. I'm a tough sell, so I won't give my money to somebody I don't trust because they're hiding something online.
Is it important, do you think, to separate your personal and your business Facebook?
Or hiding from being online and being trained?
Oh, there you go. Well, I see. Okay, there it is. Do you think it's important to separate that? So, like, my personal Facebook is what I use for business. There's no separation for me.
There's no separation for me because it's who I am. I help credit repair companies improve their companies. I help credit repair companies grow. I want everybody to know that. It's not a job. It's my life. It's what I do. And I think when people start trying to separate the two, it gets a little tricky. Now there has to be balance in there, but to me, it's especially as a business owner, that should be, it's not your identity, but it's what you do for a living. And people need to know that it's a big part of your life and who you are.
Wow, that in fact, Keith just developed his elevator pitch right there. That's great.
I've had my elevator pitch for a while.
I know you have. There's not many high-rise buildings in Florida where I can develop my elevator pitch, so I speak quickly anyway. So social media is very important. Is it important to stay up on that kind of stuff? Or if I'm posting something once a month, is that enough? Or we talk about it every week, we talk about it 3 times a day? Because salespeople, the kind of person I am and the kind of personality I have. And sometimes salespeople have addictive personalities. And we're either all in or we're all out to something. And you can see somebody post 100 posts a day on Facebook, and then they don't post anything for 3 months, and then 700 posts tomorrow, and then nothing again for 3 months. Is the consistency in your Facebook page important as well? Or is it just when something in your life happens?
I think it's the most important. It's just like what you said at the beginning. It's consistency. It's having that consistent message out there of who you are, what you're doing. Personally, it could be a little bit different, but professionally, if you're not updating your Facebook page at least twice a week, you're losing people every day. So, you know, and I would only do it twice a week if you have a good post that's starting to get some traction and going minorly viral. But outside of that, if you're not, you know, like I subscribe to Digital Marketer on Facebook, and they post 3 or 4 times a day. And the reason is because when you do that, how often that shows up in a news feed and the different people that you're hitting is going to be, it hits a lot of different people when you have a large list. So if you have a large list, you should be posting every day at least, if not twice a day.
Okay. Now, some of the things that I used to do when I was in the mortgage business, and some of the things when I started my career as a provider in the credit repair industry, some of the media forms were a little bit different. I'm not talking about MySpace. I'm not talking about Caboodle or any of that. I'm talking about send-out cards. Remember send-out cards?
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody send print mail anymore, like credit repair companies, drop mail pieces? I know a lot of auto dealers do that stuff, but is that really popular, or in the age of instant gratification that we're in, is that kind of like a dead media right now?
The problem is that people think it's dead, so they let it die. But there's still something about that tangible handwritten note. I still have all my handwritten notes from that my partners have sent me, and that, well, I'll be honest, George, you sent me one when my grandfather passed away, and I still have that. And that's you know, that was something that spoke to my heart. That just it was incredible. It got me all teary eyed.
We were already having a bromance at that point in time. So,
yeah, but still, I mean, it's that handwritten note. I mean, the Facebook messages were all nice, but you know, when somebody takes that extra time to reach out and not type, but to actually handwrite something, it's very personal. So, you know, people aren't doing it, but they definitely should. You know, one of the most powerful things is when you're prospecting a new partner, the first lead they send them a handwritten thank you note, and be sincere with it. Hey, I appreciate the chance to earn your trust. You know, it means a lot to me, and I look forward to sharing our success together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just don't be afraid to take some time with it, and that's time that is what builds partnerships. It's what builds affiliates. It's taking time with them. It's getting to know them. It's spending time with them. And it's the same thing with clients. You know, if you want to see your conversion rate go up, when somebody tells you no, send them a handwritten letter that says, hey, sorry we can't help you at this time. We really appreciate your time. If there's anything we can do for you in the future, come see us. You know, that will go a long way for even clients. So, you know, it seems like it's labor intensive, but if you spend 2 minutes writing a note and it gets you another deal, that's well vested time to me.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's the last thing I'm going to say, and we're going to get off here, I promise, because everybody's probably late to get to lunch. Data mining in your own list or asking the client for a referral, I think, is a great way to increase your business. And I think it's highly overlooked. I know it's highly overlooked by many new credit repair companies, but I think that there's I think there's a good percentage of experienced credit repair companies that may be overlooking that as well, right? And what I mean by that is once you've provided, and I think the exact right time to start this process is after the second round of results has been entered, and call them up. Hey, Keith, awesome. You're halfway there, brother. Done with the second round. Looks like we've removed 21 items out of the 30 that you have, 35 that you have. You're halfway there, and you know, you should be reaching your goal in the next 60 to 90 days. Are you happy with everything we've done so far? Now, obviously, make sure you've gotten some results. Please don't do this to somebody you haven't just hit a goose egg for. Be strategic when you're doing this. Plan your attack. So you know already the answer is, yeah, of course. I love it. I think it's great. Well, hey, you know something, Keith? You would help me out. Do you know anybody that is in the same position or feels now the way you felt when you came to me? I would really love if you could, you know, set me up with them or give me their number or put a good word in for me. You know, a lot of our business is based on referrals, as you know. You were referred to us by blank, and it would really mean a lot to me if you could do that. As a matter of fact, if you do, I'll do that. I'll do this. One of the things that you may want to do is reduce their monthly fee and give them an added value for something if that person they send to you signs up. Offer a bounty out there for it, right? If you're going to buy leads, you're going to pay for it anyway. And
we had a refer for, pay no more.
Refer for, pay no more.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I like that. It's not a hard cost, right? You've already gotten, there is some hard cost in there, but if your audit fee is $300, now Keith, what was your audit fee?
We went from $199 up to $399, so it was $199, $299, or $399, depending on the items, how many items they had we were disputing.
Mm-hmm. I think, based on the experience I've had in helping open hundreds, and I think even over 1,000 credit repair companies, helping open that many credit repair companies, I would say the average audit fee I'm seeing is $250 to $300.
Yeah.
Average, right? And if your average monthly is $100, would you give up that $100 to make $300? Probably.
Yeah.
It's just like saying, well, I buy leads. Okay, how much are the leads? They're $3 a piece. What's your conversion ratio? 5%. So you're spending $60 on a lead. You got to refer a client. They're probably going to stick longer. It's $100. One of my clients in Brooklyn was doing a Google pay-per-click campaign. And believe it or not, his cost per acquisition, take a guess, Keith, on what it was.
With Lexington Law in the space, anywhere from $75 to $80. No?
$370.
Ooh, ouch.
$370, because he was treating the incoming internet leads like a referral partner lead. He was assuming the sale immediately, and his price points were too high. And maybe that's a good conversation. Maybe that's a good topic for our next conversation.
I think so.
Knowing your target market, knowing your demographic, planning your attack, and even cross monetization. So, in fact, let's put a poll out there, maybe later on today or tomorrow. And I can't believe it's been 50 minutes already. I've really enjoyed this time so far. I don't think we've had any questions, or if we do, I don't know where to see them. Let's see. Group chat. Well, if you guys had any questions, I can't find where they are because I'm a sales guy and I really don't know how to work this thing yet. So with all that being said, I appreciate the time. We're going to post this on YouTube. Keith, I'll get you a copy of it later on. I appreciate you spending the time with me today, and look forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks, maybe a month. All right? Thanks so much, everybody. Keith, I appreciate your time, sir.